So you're already there, but
Yeah.
and then now on the user here, if you take a look, see though, first of all, you are displayed in the directory. Do you want to be? Right now in the directory out front, right, you're called Nova Design, right? So if you don't want to be up there, because honestly, it doesn't, you have no phone number,
Okay,
it doesn't
exactly.
go anywhere, so
Yeah.
we can actually just remove you from your directory, and then now you
I
won't see
see.
yourself
Okay.
up there.
All
Okay.
right.
So named display again. If there's nothing, you don't need it here, so you can just delete it.
Just
So
delete it.
just for our own,
I
right?
see, yes.
And if you were to, select a suite, if you created one and now you're, now you're not main, you're one of these units,
Yeah.
right? That you just created, then you can put it into that unit, whichever
Okay.
unit you want to be, right? Okay. So for the meantime, right now, Nova Design, Peter's fine. So we'll just save it again. We'll just take you off the directory
Okay.
up front. Okay.
So if it is a new user,
Now, if you're a new user, you got to create a new user.
create a new user.
Yeah,
So
create a new user
not
first.
go
So-
back to click on any user.
Yeah. What you'll do then, if you were, let's say you were doing a new user, first off, you start off by checking to see. Let's say somebody come and ask you, hey, I want to add a suite. Now, you don't need to create a new user anymore because every user is already
Should have a
created.
number already
Yeah,
there.
there's actually too many. There's all these Ascent ones and all these
Okay.
I don't even, half of these don't even work anymore.
Should
Probably.
be there already.
We should take it off, right?
Yeah.
But let's say, for example, like me here, right? Chan is me for Ring of the Stratus,
Oh, I
so I
see.
have this one, right? So that's
I
me.
see.
That's Anthony put that in for me, right? And then
Oh.
we have Gammon back then. Like these, I don't even know if these ones work anymore.
Okay.
We should just take them all off.
Okay.
Gammon obviously doesn't have them, right? But for example, if you were to add in something new, right? Then you have to add a suite first.
Oh, add user. I
Yeah,
see.
you can add user here if you want, just
Yeah,
to add a new user,
okay.
but you don't want to add
but
another 206.
Just find the correct
Yeah,
number.
you just find the correct one and just add a mesh, right?
Okay.
So if Armin gives you sends you an email.
So what is the?
So 1 second. So if Armin sends you an email
Yeah.
and say, okay, unit, for example, let's go to the second page because I've created some new ones.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So we're in the third page here. Okay. All right. So I created this brand new one, Yang, for example.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
Yang.
She was in unit 404.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
So if I had to create a brand new one, then I would add a user, right? And then when I create a Yang, suite
So
404.
where's the unit number goes to?
404. Yeah.
Oh, here.
Suite number,
Suite
and
number.
only selected is the fourth floor,
Yeah,
so he
okay,
can only
only
use the
fourth
fourth floor,
I
right?
see.
He didn't want his name in the display, but he had a new FOB he wanted me to program
I
into
see.
it. So that's fine, right?
That's
So if you're only programming a new FOB, it doesn't matter. You can have multiple units. The only time you run into an issue
Yeah.
is when they want a phone number connected to the unit.
Oh, yes,
right?
yes.
Now, in the front there, one suite is one code is one phone number only, right? So unit 404, right? Normally up front you would hit 404 as the code, and then that will call one number, right? But
Yeah.
some people want to call multiple numbers, right?
Yes.
So for example, like
For son and-
yeah, for the son, for the daughter, for the wife or something, they use 3 cell phones, right?
Yeah.
So instead of always calling the dad, they want to call the son. So the son may want to come in without a key and just go up front and push his own, right? So in this case, you would still create the suite, but but you would create a new suite like 404A, 404B, and with that, then you can go back to users and add a phone number. Otherwise, you can't.
Okay.
You only have one number, right? Then you would have to delete the other person's number.
Okay,
right?
first I have to go to
Yeah,
street
so
to
if you want
add
to do
the
that-
new street.
Exactly. If you wanted something new, for example, right? Again, so you see, okay, so
That's
so-
why
exactly 210, right? So they have this number, this number, this number. They have 4 numbers they want to call,
Oh,
right?
I see.
And they have different suite codes. So I'm just creating a code for them now, right? So 210 is already used. You only have one 210 for one phone number, right? So if they want a different number, then you can call them whatever you want. Like
Street
810.
code is the one that on the
You push in the front.
keypad.
Yeah, on the keypad, exactly.
keypad.
Exactly. So the suite code for the one unit, the first one is going to be the actual number of the
I
unit,
see.
right? But if they want multiple, then you got to just think of something and create it, right?
Okay.
Now we only have 4 floors, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, pretty much any number from 500 up is usable,
Yeah.
right? So they use 710, 810 just to make it simple as 210. But it's entirely up to you. I could have called this one 560 or something. Most likely it won't be used. If you want to check, you can check,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
But if you have a multiple suite code, and it's like 2 of them, the system will tell you, oh, this code's already assigned to another number. So then
I
just
see.
create a new number, right? So whatever you want, right? So if you were to do that, then you have to add a new suite first, and then you can add the number. Okay, so let's look at 210. Okay, Okay, so for example, we're 210 here. So suite 210, this is their suite code. This is the phone number that they want. Give them whatever access you want, right? And then the business and user, again, those are just names. You can do whatever you want up front, okay? But you create the
This
suite.
is nothing to do with the FOB. Nothing.
No, nothing.
This is only for the keypad things.
for keypad and the phone number.
And the phone.
Yeah, and a phone number. So suite is only for keypad, phone number,
I see.
not for FOBs. Yeah,
Okay.
if you want FOBs, you go back to user,
Okay.
and then you find it to that user. Yeah.
I see.
Okay, so there's a lot of stuff we need to clear up actually, because these users, there's a lot of users that are just duplicates, right?
Yeah.
Which we don't need, right? But you know, that's something else later on. So if you want to create a new suite, same thing, and then so Armin will give you a phone number, and then say it has to be for unit 404, for example, right?
Yeah.
So then I would you know, first of all I would check to see if I already have 404. Yeah, usually 404 is already taken. Right, for unit 404. So again, for example, though, if
Why
you,
is those
okay,
people have
you-
just
you-
two numbers?
Good idea. These ones here were before for the landlines. Remember?
Oh,
Remember
yes.
We had the old system. These
Yeah.
are just the landline line, so that goes to their unit landline,
Ah, I
right?
see.
So so you can check here first. Armin gives you a cell phone number, right? And then you like, for example, 403, and then you check to see, oh, this is 29. Then you don't actually have to create a new one, because this is, you can just change that to a phone number.
Okay.
Right, because now these no longer work anymore, anyways.
Oh,
right?
it's no longer working.
No, they don't. They when you use the intercom now, it doesn't go to your unit
Oh.
anymore because it's a different system. It always dials, right? So if he tells you, oh, it's unit 403, wants a phone number now attached to it, right? Then you just change your.
What happened right now? If it is
Nothing. If they push 403 right now,
Yeah.
nothing happens.
nothing
It doesn't
happened.
go anywhere. It doesn't call anything. The
Oh.
system will try to call 29, and then it'll just say they'll just die, which is
Oh,
like invalid number or something.
Okay.
You might hear something up front
Yeah,
saying this
okay.
number is not valid or something, but
Mm.
it won't go to the unit anymore. None of them
I
are
see.
set up anymore
Okay.
like that, right? So that's back to here. Okay. So yeah, same thing. So first thing, like I said, if Armin gives you a unit number and gives you a phone number, right? Then you just check, go to the suites first, and check to see if it already has one, and usually it will.
Mm.
But then you want to check to see if it already has a phone number connected.
Mm.
And if it does, then you got to create a new one.
That is for the elevator.
Yes, for access to the third floor. Because these people now, once they call this number and they push 6, the front door will open, and
And
the
they can-
elevator can get you to only that floor,
Okay.
based upon what their access is, right? So
Yeah.
if you're going to add a suite, you can do that, right? And then I'll tell you, okay, so what suite number it is, right? So most of them are already all taken, okay? But if you want to, you see, whoever created this, right? You know, they created a new one.
I see.
They have more different phone numbers, right? Okay, so you can create a new one. If he already has one, then you got to create number 2, or B, or C, however you want to call it. We understand, right?
Mm.
Okay, and then you put in the suite code, which is going to be the actual code,
Mm.
right? Or if there already has a code, then you can think of something new, right? So if it was 404 and 404 was already used, then use
Actual
504.
code. Actual code is for.
Suite code is the number in the front.
Oh, in the front.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I see.
yeah,
I see.
yeah, the suite
For
code.
people to
Push, exactly. So you have to create something new. So
Okay.
if 404 is already taken because it already has a phone number, then you have to create,
I see.
504 or 604 or
Oh,
704,
I see.
some other code, okay? And they put in the new number, right? And the alternate doesn't work, so it's just phone number.
Okay.
Just one number, and then give them,
Just the first 3.
yeah, just the first 3. Alternate doesn't matter, and then you guess which floor
Okay.
do they get, right?
Uh-huh.
And then don't worry about business. There's no business.
Okay.
Okay, and that's it. And that's
That's it?
And then save, obviously, right?
Of course,
Save
save,
it after.
yes.
So here we cancel. Okay, so we'll go back to this again. So yeah, so these ones that have no phone number, just give them a phone number for the time being. Okay, like if they, like for example, when we started with 210, right?
Why they don't have a phone number?
Because they don't want to use it.
They don't want to use
They
the
don't.
system.
They don't want to use the system. Maybe they don't care.
They don't-
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, or they don't know maybe that we switched to a new system. I don't know.
Okay.
Right, but they have their FOBs, so they're happy with that.
Oh,
They don't have anybody delivering stuff. They don't
Oh.
have Uber Eats or something. They don't care, right? But you see, most of them do now have phone numbers, and some have
Oh, I
multiple.
see.
Right, some have
Yeah.
multiple phone numbers, right? So,
Okay.
and I don't know who created this one, but this is obviously not calling anything. Right? I don't know who created BNT.
Yeah.
Right? But somebody did it, so I'm going to delete it. It doesn't mean anything, so just delete it. Okay. Okay, so I mean, this is basically it. So it has basically right now only 43 entries right?
Yeah.
Active because these are the people that only want, 409 only wants one phone number.
I see.
But 409 may want a second number later on, right?
Mm.
Then you have to create a new one,
B.
409-2 or something, or B or
Dash
whatever you
two,
want to call
yeah,
it. It doesn't
okay.
matter, right? And
Okay.
then give it a new code because it can't be 409. It has to be, 509 or something, right? Whatever you want.
Okay.
So you just create like this one, 311, right? Armin asked me to create 311, right? So I gave it code 399, for example, right? Because
Mm.
311, I don't know, was already taken or something. I don't know where it was. So
I think it's 311 somewhere.
probably it was probably taken. So I just gave it another code.
Okay.
The code doesn't matter because in the front it'll tell you what code, right?
Yeah.
And then this is the phone number that they wanted, right? So really only suites and users.
Yeah, user. Okay,
users.
got it.
Okay, and the users you want to see as many as you want. Okay, so and then add user, make sure you save it. I mean later on you can